Hey everybody, this is Zer0 at with 0 Hour Gaming and Overclocked Remix in the back. Um, what am I doing here? Um, so it's been a while since I streamed properly. I'm sure at least a couple of you may have caught that I streamed like a week or so ago or something like that, and apparently I didn't do a great job at testing everything before I started because, well, there was no audio for over an hour. So, I'm just going to file that one under learning experience and try this over again. So, hey everybody, this is Zer0 with 0 Hour Gaming and Overclocked Remix in the back. Where have I been? So, I'm sure some of you are aware that I live in Florida, and Florida got hit by 2 hurricanes this year. One at the very beginning of October, and one more or less at the beginning of November, right at the, yeah. So, because I work in the particular field that I do, I'm not dropping any hints or anything like that, but I work in an outdoorsy capacity maintaining infrastructure, and as a result of that, I was incognito for like 2 months. And, it was rough, it was stressful, it was tiring. And it got me to thinking after a while, besides all the other stuff that happened, which I may or may not go into. I don't really do a whole lot to even myself out the way I used to when I was younger. So I thought about it for a while, and I was sifting around in my closet, and I remembered that I have a lot of Legos that I haven't sat down and played with in a while. So I pulled all those out, and I was playing with them, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time I do something other than gaming on my channel, because, I mean, I play games, but, you know, games aren't the only thing that I do, and this hobby of mine that I've had since I was, I don't even remember. I've been doing it as long as I remember, as a matter of fact, but it's my hobby. It's my favorite hobby, and I figure maybe it'll be entertaining. Maybe it'll give me some alternate content for the channel. So that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to sit here and introduce everybody to my hobby, and give myself a little time to, I don't know, air myself out, I guess. Let's see, what's happened since October? I reconnected with my family a little bit. It was interesting. Met some familiar faces that I hadn't seen in a while, and got to know some other ones that I hadn't seen in a while. I don't know. Home life's boring, let's not talk about that. The news got really stupid. I mean, that's kind of an understatement given the last couple of years, but really tragically stupid. So I'm going to do my best to not talk about that as much as I can. Unless you guys are interested and want to talk about it, you know, I'm fine airing out the world's dirty laundry. But in any case, what I'm going to do today, as I said, is I'm basically going to play with my Legos on stream. And to do that, I have a brand new frame with some new functionality that we're going to test out here. So here's hoping that I didn't screw this up. Ah, good. Okay, so Overclock Remix is up there, chat is right below it, and I am right here. And this is where I will stay for the duration of our afternoon. So as far as what I'm going to be building, I mean, I have a lot of sets that I have lying around that I've been slowly collecting over the years, because for a long while after I moved up here, I was really tragically broke. And as a result of it, I didn't really have much opportunity to indulge my hobby, so, you know, money was tight, and as such, I kept my expenses to a minimum and my frivolities to a minimum, but over the years, I've cleaned up a lot of my finances, and I'm in a better position now than I was then, so I slowly, every once in a while, I'd buy myself a set here or there that I thought looked neat, and it's less about the sets themselves when I buy Legos these days, especially nowadays. It's more about the pieces that come in them, because I have some projects that I want to do some custom stuff, but I need the pieces to do that with. So, you know, anytime I'm out browsing around and I see something that catches my eye, I'll pick it up if I can spare the money. And also I have a couple other sets that people have bought me over the years. I'll probably do those on stream too. But for this first one that I think will actually come out properly, I hope. And you know, that's another thing I ought to do is I need to start recording these separately from the broadcast, because there's some other little tweaks that I can do in the background with them, with the video. And it'd be nice to have a clean copy of it, I guess. But for today at least, this is just a dry run. I'm still working out the kinks in this. So I'll show you guys what I'm going to be building first. I don't know if I should... Yeah, I'll just do it this way. So currently my desk looks a little like this. Still working on the lighting, so, you know, bear with me on that. The camera angle's all janky because I kind of jerry-rigged all of this together as close to last minute as you can get. But it'll get better over time. I want the camera to be a little closer down on the desk so you guys can see what's going on down there a little better. The lighting situation I think is okay, but if anything, this light might need to be turned down a little bit, not sure. But again, work on that as time goes on. If you guys have any suggestions or recommendations, feel free, because like I said, I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. So, I have 3 sets that I just kind of pulled out. I have a lot more. There's more down that way somewhere. But these are the 3 that I figured I'd start with today. Nothing super difficult. Nothing as impressive as the ones that I did the last time I tried to do this, which are actually sitting right here on my desk. But these are all polybag sets. Oh my god, far too bright. But these are all from polybag sets, and I like a lot of these Lego Creator sets because while they are, you know, pretty simple, they teach techniques that, you know, that have been coming around, and, you know, new building styles and stuff like that. And 2, they just look neat when they're done. And they're nice for scale and stuff like that. So I pick these up a lot when I'm just out and about. And some of the ones that I found are actually really cool. Like this one's from the Lego Ninjago, that is actually a very, very small scale model of a much, much bigger set that I can show you guys later. I don't own that set. If I had the money when that set was around, I would have bought that set, but I did not. So don't mind me. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna start with this one right here. That's the Lego Creator. It's just one of the many little model race car sets that they have, and I know I have a bunch more of them somewhere. But I figure I'll start with this one, just because I picked it up on a lark, looked neat. I want to say this is one of the more recent ones I grabbed too, because this one isn't as wrinkled as the other 2, as you can see. But like the bags on these are a little roughed up because they've been around my they've been in my closet for a while, tucked under a bunch of other stuff. So we're gonna start with this. And as far as having built these before, with the exception of this one that I attempted to have a redo of the last time I tried this and failed, all these blind bags, I'm opening them live first time on stream. I've never built these before, and other than having looked at them in the store, I know, you know, as little about them as you can imagine. But I'm not exactly a noob to building Legos. Like I said, I've been doing this since I was a kid. As far as time constraints, I'm not sure how long it'll take me to get through a lot of these, but I'm sure it'll be fun nonetheless, right? Now, I do have two things that I would like to ask everybody while I'm doing this, as far as the stream goes. I'm testing out some new audio stuff, and I want to make sure that as I'm doing this, the sound of me rattling through the Legos doesn't sound like broken glass hitting a chalkboard for you guys, because I know what it sounds like when I'm rifling through my bins, and I wouldn't want to subject anybody to that on stream unless you guys find that ASMR cathartic for some reason. Which, someone may, I don't know. But at least for now, if you guys have any issues with the audio, whether my voice is too low or high, the Overclock Remix is too low or high, or if this sounds absolutely atrocious to you, let me know. I mean, I'm probably... I'll keep my mic on, at least for now, while I'm doing this. And I guess, if I need to change anything, just let me know. Yeah, I guess we'll do it like that. So, let's see. Yeah, but, like, the lighting's too harsh, I think. I don't know if that's better or worse. Oh. That, no, it's still too dark. Alright. Alright. So yeah, as I was saying before, it's been kind of a wild last couple of months for me. Oh, and that's another reason that I kind of wanted to do this on stream as I'm building some of these sets. A lot of these newer sets have pieces in them that I have never seen before, and it's good for me to kind of show them off, because I'm sure some of these will come up as part of my builds later. But like this one, I don't even have an analog in here that I can demonstrate what it looks like. Why is this so bright? This light is so harsh. And see, this is why I need a better camera for this. Like, this is just the best camera that I could find. But like this piece, for example, it looks like a 2x2 tile, but it has this little ridge on the front that has two studs on it on either side. So it's like a 4x2 tile that has a 2x1 tile on it that is connected to an parallel 2x1 tile. Okay. But these are new. I'd never seen these before. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something with the lighting here. But number 3 says for these. But the big thing about why some of these pieces are new, in particular, is Lego has kind of shifted their focus over the years from just construction to construction plus aesthetic, which is cool. I love that. Because I mean, while Legos were never they were never like hideous or anything by any stretch of the imagination, they were always a building toy when I was younger. But they've shifted more toward improving the outward aesthetics of them, so that like they're more true to life, I guess would be how you want to put it. Oh, and these are new too. These little, they look like single studs, but they don't have an actual stud in the middle. It's like a post almost. I know they're kind of hard to see. But that's one of the things that Lego has started doing, is focusing more on the aesthetics. So there's more of a, like, I don't know, true to representation kind of feel to a lot of their builds now. And I think that's part of the reason that I like the creator sets in particular, is because they focus on that in a way, in miniaturizing the sets. Or rather, did it already, haha. Oh, I knew I missed one. That's what I get for not paying attention. But they've shifted a little bit more toward aesthetic presentation, and that's part of the reason in some of the newer sets, especially with like the creator line, or the like some of their Technic sets are just balls to the wall impressive these days. Red tiles. Interesting that they would do that. I wonder why they chose that piece specifically. They could have very easily used something else for that, but there's like two other pieces that immediately come to mind that they could have used for that. Well, mine is not to question, mine is just to observe. And then these pieces, these click connectors, or no, these aren't the click connectors. These are just like kind of standoffs almost. But yeah, I figured this would be a nice little change of pace, just to one, take my mind off things, because there's been a lot in the background, most of which I'm not really in the mood to talk about. Some of you out there already know, but personal stuff, family stuff, and it's been a trying year, so sometimes it's good to just retreat into a more calming hobby and keep your mind off things. I keep doing that. Crossing over my my hands. Kind of a bad habit when you're doing something like this. I know. I'll work on it. I promise. See, that's interesting, because I could think of another piece that they could have used for that. And then these pieces too, they're kind of like the ones that I had showed off a little while ago, but they're single 2x1 with a 2x1 perpendicular to it. So those pieces have been coming up. And you know what's really funny too? Like when I was a kid, there was Tyco used to make Legos as well, or used to make a building block thing as well. And there was this set from Tyco that I don't even remember. I don't remember who bought it for me. I don't remember when I got it. It might have been Christmas or something when I was younger. But this set was like a transforming, like, robot helicopter, and it had some of the most clever pieces I had ever seen up until that point. And Lego never had anything like it back then. So some of the pieces from this set I kept, and if I can find them next time I'm fooling around in my my box, I'll pull some of them out, because Lego has replicated these pieces, and they have them as actual Lego pieces now, so they're in scale with the regular Legos. And it's great, because if these pieces had been around then, if these pieces had been around in Lego then, I think there would have been a lot more transformative design. Like you would have seen a lot more robots and you know, moving parts and things like that. It's just really neat stuff to think about. What do I got here? White, red, red. One gray. And 7 of these. 7 2-to-1s. And then here's another piece that was just flat out not around when I was younger. A lot of these kind of curved pieces, where they become tile height on from one elevation to another. These didn't exist before, like, I want to say 2005 or something, because I don't remember them being in any of the old sets that I had. Because just thinking back, I mean, there are some sets that I had when I was younger that were their pieces like this, these kind of nice curved pieces, would have made the sets look even better than they already did. Like, Ice Planet would have benefited a lot from that, with more sleek designs on the Deep Freeze Defender, for example, one of my favorite sets. That's an interesting way to do that at this scale. It's a very interesting way to do that. But yeah, here's another one. Another one of these nice curvy kind of tile pieces. There are so many of these now that there weren't back then, that a lot of the angular designs that I used to build don't have to be built that way anymore. They can just be flat out. They can have, you know, nice sleek curves and stuff. Well, these are some I hadn't seen before either. These are like corner curves. Right. Keep your hands in the middle. That's the arrangement. But yeah, this is part of the reason that I love these creator sets, is like they're micro scale builds, but they come out so nice, and they have such good detail on them for, you know, being tiny. Like, this thing is what? How many pieces was this? Where are you? This one is 68 pieces. And in 68 pieces, they managed to give you a really nice, like, Hot Wheels would be proud of race cars like these. I mean, really good looking, really good feeling, nice to build. A lot of really nice sleek lines, even in how small it is. I mean, these are the kinds of things that I built some stuff like this when I was younger, but I never really dabbled in race cars. All my stuff was mostly space themed. But I love the way that these little creator sets look. These and the like Speed Champions. But yeah, like these things, and then the some of the Speed Champions sets are just something to behold. Let me see if I can pull one up for you. And I have some of these as well. Not this one, but like the Speed Champions sets are slightly bigger than these. They actually have a couple different sizes, but like this one right here is one of those Speed Champion sets. And I mean the detail, the attention to detail, the seams on the lines and everything, it just gets better and better the larger the set that you buy in these series. I love this. Anyway, what was that? What was that? I got two more here. I guess I'll go with the Marvel ones first. I'll do the bright one first. So next up is this one, which is the Lego Marvel Superheroes. This one, what are you called? The Guardian Ship Polybag. This little polybag is, oh, good to put your old instructions away because you're not going to need them for now. But this little polybag is a scale model of a much bigger, and I've contemplated buying this a couple of times. Like every time I pass it in Target or whatever, I have thought seriously about buying this thing because it's a really neat looking set, and I think it would be fun to build. I'd probably need a much bigger, I'd probably need to clear much more of my desk off than this, but I think it'd be fun to build. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet because it is rather pricey. What are we looking at for price right now, actually, if it's still available even? Yeah. Oh, you are still expensive. But yeah, they have a much larger version of this ship with much more detail, as you can see. But I mean, I've contemplated buying this ship a couple of times, and like I said, just because it's a neat looking ship, I don't generally dig a lot of the licensed brand sets, and it's mainly because I have no interest in really building any of them. Like the entire Lego Marvel line, for the most part, the Lego Star Wars line, I don't really buy any of them because I'd rather be building my own stuff. The only thing that ever gets me to buy sets like these are parts. So, for example, some of these angled pieces, again, did not exist when I was younger and playing with Lego. Like these small canopies didn't exist. A lot of these curved semicircle pieces or quarter circle pieces, like quarter circles, just flat out didn't exist when I was young. Some of these Technic pieces, like the ball joints, a lot of these didn't exist when I was young. So I'm buying a lot of these sets just to augment the existing parts that I have to prepare myself for other stuff that I want to build. And that's kind of what a lot of this is going to be getting to, is me going through a lot of my old poly bags, going through some of my smaller sets, and eventually working myself up to some of the bigger sets that I have lying around, which are off frame. I'm not even going to show them because I'd rather it be a surprise. And then eventually getting back to, or getting my my confidence, I guess, because I'm really out of practice, but getting myself to a position where I feel like I can build my own custom stuff on streams. and we'll see how that goes. I have a feeling that a lot of those streams are just going to end up being lots and lots of dead air with me either talking to chat or, I don't know, just working in general in my own, working in my head while everybody else is doing whatever. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm mostly doing this for myself anyway. But next poly bag on deck. I have a feeling I'm gonna pull a lot of these apart pretty quickly, because like I said, a lot of these I'm looking for parts out of. So if they fulfill a particular need when I am going through my builds, they will be deconstructed as necessary. Poly bag off desk. Instructions on desk. Ooh, this one's got a little meat to it. This one's got a little meat to it, okay. Alright, so this is an old piece. This has been around since at least Space Police, I think. Never had one in orange. I don't generally tend to buy a lot of bright colors when I build, but oh no, those are transparent. Okay. Okay, now one thing I am going to admit, I absolutely love, I love transparent pieces, and one thing that this Guardians of the Galaxy set has that I haven't seen in any other set is like transparent purple. So I may buy some more of the Guardian stuff, some of the bigger sets, just to see if I can get some of the other purple pieces that I tend to like a lot. Like, here's another piece that I've never seen before. It's a half tile. So it's a 2x2 plate that's half tile and half stud. Those were never around when I was younger. Makes me sound old saying that. God. Oh, and there's some more pieces that were never around. Rounded tiles. Like these that I think they introduced when they started doing the what's it called? Those mosaic sets. And I'll show some of those on stream later to show you guys what I mean. Don't build off frame. Bad. Yeah, I think I need to zoom the camera in a little bit. I don't know if I want to try doing this live or not, though. Oh no, I can't anyway. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This is a test run. We'll improve later. Okay, now looking at the instructions, I can already see a couple more pieces that never existed before, like this. 2x1 plate with a Technic peg hole in it. Oh, and by the way, if you... These are like a blue-gray. Again, more another type of angular piece that I never really saw too much when I was younger, but I've never seen it in that color. And you know, that's another thing. As I was setting all this up, I wasn't even really sure what tag to stream under, because there isn't a like Lego building tag on Twitch as far as I've seen. So I put myself under Lego Creator, which is the closest thing I could think of at the time, but maybe there's a better tag to do. I'm skipping steps. That's an interesting way to do that. Just using negative space with no attachments to kind of level that onto. Again, a lot of the reasons I like these polybags is because they teach clever miniaturization techniques that become really helpful when you're doing similar or larger scale builds. Oh, damn it. Those are supposed to be the purple ones. That's what I get for not paying attention earlier. I wasn't sure if that was the clear one or the purple one. It's the transparent purple one, so those need to come off. Alright, so where were we? What the heck was that? Oh, Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, I didn't recognize the song there, sorry. Okay, so this is one of those pieces I was talking about. The 2x1, 1x2 tile with a little notch on the end, and these connect to little pieces that have gears on them, or spokes and gears. And actually, I don't think there are any of the geared pieces that go with this set. So they're probably using it for something a little different. That's fine. And see, like I was saying before, this is one of the reasons that I like the some of these micro scale builds, is because you can fit a lot of detail directly into these with minimal pieces. And if you look around online too, you'll notice that people do this, like people do this on their own. Like they'll make these little micro scale builds out of, or other things that Lego doesn't do, because they're just that. Oh, actually, I'm lying. That piece was in there from the beginning. Okay, so that piece right in there, you see that little double spoked piece right there? That corresponds to this socket. And if you push that in there, like so, it has little gear notches on it so that you can adjust the angle at which the unit sits, and it'll stay that way. And those are new pieces that weren't around when I was younger either. Before, you would have to use actual Technic pieces at much larger scale and kind of jerry-rig your own ways to make them lock at the angles that you wanted, which wasn't difficult per se. It just took a little more space if you were trying to do smaller builds, which could complicate things. And then one of these Omni single bricks. Let's see. Okay, that's not translucent. Yeah, that's not translucent, so one side gets that. The bottom gets a clear, or a translucent clear one. Sides get the standoff hooks. And then the top gets this curved piece, or a little tile to go with it. And that's another thing that these pieces are really good for as well, is once upon a time, there was literally no way to have done that. Those curved pieces like that, like I said, did not exist. There would have been no way to do that before. But now you can get these nice clean lines going all the way down a build just by virtue of having pieces that can actually do it. Ooh, getting into some stuff that I've never had before. Tiles of 3 stud length, which is pretty cool. Those are the purple ones. And then some of these ball and socket joints, they existed, but not like this. Like there was never a piece like this before that I remember. Those go in there. Oh, that's clever. T. So we get what? Solid tile and curved tile on the end. I love the colors on this too. Like I said, I'm purple isn't generally my color of choice when doing builds. My colors of choice tend to be translucent red and translucent blue. Not that I have a ton of translucent blue, but those tend to be my two favorite colors to build in. But this set's kind of teasing me on the translucent purple, because I've never seen translucent purple in any Lego set before. So this is kind of a nice surprise. And of course, posing at the end is always the way that you gotta finish it off. And that's one of the things that these tinier ball and socket joints are really nice for, is minute posing toward the end. So you can see the angle that the wings hit, and you can adjust them at any dimension that you want. And then the comparison. So as you can see, the scale on these is much different, because this thing is a fraction of the size that the original build, that the full size one is. And the full size one also comes with all the Guardians of the Galaxy. It comes with a full set of minifigs. But I mean, just by comparison to, like, the micro builds for these things are just incredible for how much detail they can cram into such a small amount of space. And I know my camera really doesn't do it a whole lot of justice, but I mean, you can see the lines as they would lead along from the cockpit all the way down the wings to the upper and lower wings on the full-size one. And of course, the full-size one's going to have some detail that the smaller one doesn't, because that's kind of the nature of things. But, like, in all honesty, because of the way that they built this, even, they give you 3 ball and socket joints. So realistically, if you wanted to go out and look for another set of wings and another ball and socket to connect to that, you could have that lower wing on the big set right down there as well. I wonder if they have any other. But yeah, I've been toying with buying this set on and off for a long while. So depending on how much money I am willing to throw at myself in the near future, I may or may not do this. Oh hey, what's up, Rocky? Oh yeah, and because I didn't show it on the other one, which shame on me. Almost without fail, when you buy Lego sets, they almost always will have a couple of miscellaneous pieces left over. Usually it's going to be smaller pieces, the detail-oriented stuff, but you'll always end up with at least a couple in every set. So I mean, as you can see over here, I have a little pile of stuff from all of these that I built previously that's slowly piling up, which is good, because the more detailed pieces you have left over, the more detail you can add. But especially a lot of these single tiles and the angular pieces also come in handy when I actually start building my own stuff later on. Just keep that off to one side. So yeah, poly bag for the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, which, in all honesty, having built this thing now, I think I kind of want to go see if I can find another poly bag, but I don't know if this one is still in circulation widely, so I'd be hard pressed to actually find one. Maybe. I had one more, didn't I? Yeah, I think I had one more. Alright, so scratch the Guardian ship polybag off the list, and we come to... Oh yeah, that's right. Hearing, and this is something that I am truly guilty of, and I do and don't hate myself for it. A lot of times when I buy these polybags, they're kind of on a whim. So, you know, I'm buying them because I think they look neat at the time. But then when I really get them home and I look at them and I realize the kind of pieces that are in them, I'm like, man, I should have bought like 3 more of these or 6 more of these or something like that. And this is one of those sets that I regret not buying a bunch more of. This is the Royal Talon Fighter from Black Panther. This one is 59 pieces, so it's a little smaller than the other two because the creator car was 68 and this one was the Guardians of the Galaxy was 69. This one's only 59 pieces, but the way that they use the pieces in this set, I really regret not buying more. Alright, let's get that off. So, fresh polybag. Rocky, by the way, since you seem to be the only one here, how does everything sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear Overclock Remix? Is that all that you hear? Is everything correct? Excellent, okay. And just me and Overclock Remix, right? Nothing else? I'm gonna put that there. I sound like I'm far away. Alright, music's fine. I sound like I could be a little higher. Should I raise my volume then, or... Oh, okay, just when I talk low. Alright, so I'll try to enunciate a little bit more. Thank you. Alright, so what are we building today? We are building the Royal... what's this called? Royal Talon Fighter. The one lonely green piece in this entire set that doesn't even show up anywhere on the model. Yeah, so how's everything going for you, Rocky? Work isn't treating you too bad, I guess. Or I hope. Okay, so just from the diagram, you can already kind of see where some of this is going as far as building up the meatiness of it. So that purple piece that I just added right there is what's going to be under the cockpit canopy. That's one thing I will definitely say I envy about where you work versus where I work, is you have a little more latitude as far as entertainment. Oh. Oh Lord, there's so many of these. What, this one? I want to say I picked this up at Target. Because a lot of times, a lot of other places do have them as well, but Target seems to have them more frequently and in bigger, in larger quantities. these little poly bags, they'll usually have them either in the Lego sections themselves, which is usually toward the back of the store, or they'll have them right up at the register. And a lot of the times, especially if there's like a new Lego movie coming out, the poly bags, the little tiny sets like these, they'll have right up at the register as impulse buys, which is good and terrible for me because, you know, I'll impulse buy Legos all day, every day. And another thing that I'd like to start doing at some point when I can convince myself to wake up that early in the morning is to start heading over to some of the flea markets in the area when I have a chance and see if I can pull lots of Legos, because I know every once in a while you'll run into somebody who's just selling their old stuff there and, you know, cleaning out garages or whatever have you, and they find, you know, giant bags or bins of Legos that people are trying to get rid of for God only knows what reason. Okay, we got some semi-tiles right in the middle. And so, and then the mini canopy. And then here's a smaller version of a piece that that's been around for a long while. It's 3 as opposed to, I think, the 6 that's on the slightly bigger one. But, and this is where you can chime in if you'd like, Rocky. Where you build Gunpla, and in all honesty, it's probably going to be something that I pick up at some point, because you've bought me one to get started with, but I haven't built it yet. Whereas you build Gunpla pretty religiously, I've always been all in on Lego, and this for me is kind of what that is for you. And then here's another little item that I don't remember ever seeing before. And this is something that LEGO's kind of hesitant to do. These are blasters. These are like the Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord's blasters. And they're using these as decorative pieces for this ship because at this scale, they look exactly like the lower fins that keep the ship hovering. Build over your desk. Build under the camera. Oh wait, no, that's right. Smaller part at the bottom. Hey, if you want to, be my guest. I mean, I still have the Exia up in the closet that I never actually got around to building. And if you want, we can take a roll around the block to the Gunpla store. Mega Man X. And by that, I take it that means you are coming up this weekend? And then these are some interesting pieces that I'd never seen before. They're like corner tiles, but they're angled corner tiles. Again, never seen that before. I wish I would have bought a bunch more of these, jeez. And then the very last... Oh, I missed a step. Oh yeah, I missed a step. Snuck up on me. These angled vent pieces were supposed to go on the sides here. I missed that. But thankfully, easily re-added to where they're supposed to go. Press everything flat, and last but not least, that canopy that I mentioned earlier, the windshield for the cockpit, goes right in there. Except it wants to be complicated. Okay, there we go. But yeah, nice, sleek build. And then pull the stabilizing fins out a little bit just so they look nice. Yeah, this is a nice, sleek little build with a lot of really neat pieces in it. I very much regret not buying several more of these when I saw them in the store. But again, hindsight's 2020, and buying blind bags, even with my fairly keen eye for pieces, can not even just get expensive, because these things are usually like $6 a piece. I wonder if I can find the Big Brother version of this. Yeah, here's the... No, that's the poly bag. Here's the big one. So, to compare... the amount of detail in the small model versus the large model. Like, it's kind of night and day, especially for this one, with how much more detail there is in the stabilizing fins and the rear spoiler and all that. But it's still pretty true on to the original model. And of course you get Killmonger, and I forget what dude's name is. But yeah. What else we got around here? Lego Creator has some really great sets to it. No, those are custom sets. Like, they have the Vehicles collection, which this is another one of those. This car, I think, is about the same scale as this one that I made. I don't remember which one this is off the top of my head. I know I have the instructions around somewhere for it. But that car, that red one, is about the same scale as this one. Should have about the same amount of pieces, too. Oh, and by the way, in case you aren't completely aware of it, Bricklink, this site that I'm on, is absolutely invaluable if you play with Legos, especially nowadays, because not only will it help you, you know, kind of look for sets that you might be interested in, or at least find what they are, But in the event that you're missing a piece, you can actually just go on here. They have like a community you can just order pieces from. And, you know, people put up parts to sell from either full sets or pieces of full sets or whatever. But a lot of the LEGO Creator micro builds are really neat. Actually, why am I just doing 25 for the page? Just do 100. Oh, that's a neat one. Huh. Oh, this came out in 2006. I bet this was part of like Explorian's era, because the color scheme looks really close to it. Oh, man. But yeah, I could really sit here and do this all day, is just reminisce about sets that I never got or whatever. And like, so you guys can see what I mean by Explorian's era. I'm gonna tag that. The Explorians line is probably the one system that. Oh, that's not Explorians. That's just Space. Those are old ones too. I think those are 90s. Yeah, that's 96. That's Space 3 or 2. I forget. Yeah, these. But some of these sets from Explorians are just impressive, to say the least. And then there's this. Oh, they don't even have the big one. I wanted this set so bad when I was younger, and it came out, these were, what year? 96? Yeah. Explorians came out when I was at when I was in high school, and I never ever had enough money to buy these. And I never asked for any of them for Christmas, because they were pretty expensive at the time. And when I was in high school, I actually needed the money for, you know, classes in school and whatever have you. So I never asked, but this was always one of those sets that I wish I would have asked for, because this is such a neat looking flagship. And every single space system that they've ever had has always had one like flagship set, and that was the one for Explorians, and I always thought it looked really neat. I'm pretty sure I got this one. I picked up a couple of the smaller ones. Never got this, because I don't have any of the magnetic pieces from it, and I don't have that. And then, what was another one? Come on. Oh, because I'm searching catalog space, haha. And then another system that I always thought was really cool, and I did pick up a couple from this system, Zer0's. No, I want sets. Exo-Force. Zer0's and Ninjago. Okay. So yeah. Exo-Force was another one. These I think were in the late 2000s. So a lot of these came out when I was in college and I was broke and I never had money. I did manage to pick up one though, and this is the one that I seriously regret not buying several more of, because this set is such a joy to build. And the pieces in it, if you ever wanted to do like mechas or anything like that, this is the set that you needed to buy because it gave you everything you needed. And in all honesty, I wish I had 3 more because that would have given me enough to build one of the things that I've been working on. But that's okay, you know, working our way through it. And then these are the Nexo Knight sets. These kind of picked up the orange transparent chainsaw meme from Ice Planet and ran with it. They made so many new orange transparent pieces just in this one system. It was unreal. And the sets looked really neat too. Like they had crazy minifigures in it too. And minifigure accessories. But like some of these I wish I would. Oh, these are 2016. I might still be able to find some of these without too much trouble if I really looked. 354 parts. Wait, 15 US? Used incomplete, used incomplete, used. With instructions, no box. And see, in all honesty, a lot of these I would buy, but again, I would be buying purely for the parts. Yeah, I would be buying some of these purely for parts, especially the Nexo Knight stuff, because like they're neat to build. I mean, look at this stuff. They're neat to build, but a lot of these I would just want the pieces for decorative purposes. But I mean, they took the theme from Ice Planet and just ran with it for some of these sets. Clay's Falcon Fighter, I wanted this one when I saw it, and that one came as a dual set because it had the gargoyle that he fought against. This the Twin Jouster. There's Castle, right? Yeah. But yeah, now that I am a little bit more financially stable than I once was, and actually for Nexo Knights, a lot of the sets that I bought were the Ultimate Minifig sets, so I have a lot of these in the closet over there. And I mean, realistically, I have no reason to need to build them, but I will unbox a lot of these at some point for the pieces because, you know, decorating your minifigs with some of the stuff that these guys come with is just nuts. So let's see, I know I have Ultimate Lance, I think I have, there's a couple of them. Like every single one of the main characters from these has an ultimate figure set, and I'm pretty sure I have them all. Don't have that one. Pretty sure I have hers. I don't remember if I have his. I never bought any of the Nexo Knights blister packs for these. Yeah, I really don't understand how they discontinued Nexo Knights as quickly as they did, considering how freaking neat these sets were. I mean, just look at the color schemes on some of these sets. They're so great. Got a lot of spider stuff in these sets too. There were more Nexo Knight sets than these. That's Lance, that's General Magmar. Beastmaster. I think I have his. I know I have hers because hers is like all transparent red, and that's one of my favorite color schemes, so I know I have her. I know I have Clay because I always thought the transparent blue stuff was really neat looking on him. I didn't buy any of the bad guys, I don't think. I know I have Lance because I like the kind of silver gray color scheme that he had going on. I might have her too, just because I wanted the bat wings. But yeah, I wish I had invested more heavily into this theme because it was fantastic. And then Ninjago is kind of their new replacement-ish for that. And the Ninjago stuff is just as nice in a lot of ways. Like of course it's, you know, kind of Chinese, Japanese themed stuff and a lot of, or Japanese themed primarily, I'm sorry. But their stuff has a lot more, they have more mechs and stuff in theirs, as well as aircraft and vehicles. So this would be good for me to buy for parts. I mean, look at some of these neat looking decorative pieces that they have. Like these fin type pieces are really good for making mechs because you know, armor, and some of these plates are as well. Just a full-on crane because why not? But yeah, the Ninjago stuff is kind of what I've been looking into picking up lately. Unfortunately, Exoforce and Nexo Knights are both long since passed, so unless I'm buying them secondhand for like triple the price, that's kind of out for now. What's coming up next year? Nothing for 2023 yet, because 2023 is not out yet. Let's do 2022 sets. This is what I was talking about earlier. 2022, in particular, the last like 3 years of LEGO, they have gone a lot heavier into like showpiece type things. So you'll see a lot of smooth curves and a lot of plates that are, you know, making nice smooth lines and stuff like that, as opposed to the more angular stuff you saw before. So they have like Santiago Bernabeu Stadium from Madrid. They have the Vespa set, which this gets a lot of play online because the Vespa set's really nice. I've seen it up close in person. Beautiful set. I am kind of surprised they didn't do this in yellow and red as well. As far as I've seen, they only have the blue one. And then of course, like they have licensed sets. They have the like scale model DeLorean that comes with some really nice pieces in it. That's another nice one. The older Chevy Camaro that actually does have the different decorations that you can have. So you can have the red accents or the white accents to go over the gray accents on the car, which that's a really nice touch, and I wish that they would do that more often because that's something they need to do. It's really cool. What else we got? They released some new base plates apparently. Great Pyramids of Giza. This would make a nice little mantelpiece one. The globe. There's a really nice one that I saw. Oh. Okay, that's the polybag one, the little Vespa. But I'm surprised that they didn't do the Vespa in red, because I think the red is the more traditional way that you see it depicted, red or yellow. And then there are the little brick sketches ones. There's the little ones that are that are a little bigger than a polybag. They're like the little box ones that you get. Or they have the giant mosaic ones. I've seen a couple of those in person, and those are really impressive too. Yeah, these are the mosaic ones, and they just come with an absolute monstrous number of studs, and you just make a mosaic, and they have tons of different ones. And they have a generator, I think, on their website where you can make one and have it custom made for you. I almost bought this like a week ago. It's a really neat looking set. I may still go back and buy it. High-speed train. I don't know if this actually goes on the tracks or not, because usually when you buy a train set, yeah, this is too small. Usually when you buy a train set, it'll actually come with the tracks, and that's one Lego item that I have never actually owned is a Lego train set. Mostly, I think, because my parents were considering space when they would buy me sets. But 2021 and 2022 were really good years for Lego. Because they had some absolutely nutty sets that came out. And here's one I don't even remember seeing, but it's a Technic race model, so I probably just missed it in stores. 700 piece count. Ooh, the F1 2022 car. These have always been nice sets. I think they do one of these either every year or every other year. The last one I remember was a red one, I believe. The Ferrari Daytona SP3, that if I had had the money when I saw it in the store that time, because I think it was on sale, it was like $200 or something, I probably would have bought it. But that was a bit of a reach for me at the time. And then this would be like a mid-size one, the Formula E Porsche. Oh, and that's another thing. Speaking about Lego and how it's come up over the years, like the city system has become so much nicer than it used to be. Because the city used to be like really basic when I was younger. The city sets were, you know, your typical fire department, police station, park, things like that. City has kind of grown to encompass all of a lot of different things. So you see more than just, you know, your typical big buildings. You also see a lot of smaller stuff. So you'll see the buildings that would go in a city, like an ice cream parlor or a Lego store or a bank, or they have lots of variety for it now. And those city sets, the older ones tended to look more like this. The newer ones, though, let me see if I can find one. Because the newer ones are modular builds, so they're meant to be part of bigger builds. Now we're getting into all the Star Wars stuff. Blah. It would be nice purely for the pieces, because I would never come by that many red and gold pieces all in one set otherwise. I may have to go track this down just for that canopy, because that looks neat. Trying to see if I can find... Oh, here we go. Yeah. Well, no, that's still just going to be a front piece. Yeah. I'm trying to find some of the modular builds that they have. No, that's just a mantle top. No. Those are the book ones, aren't they? Yeah. These are actually pretty neat too. These Harry Potter they come looking like little tomes, and then they fold out into these scenes, and they have all the pieces in them. These are pretty neat, and I kind of wish Lego would do more of those for, you know, stuff other than Harry Potter, but that's all they have the license for at the moment. But then there's the 2022 Speed Champions line. They have the Ferrari M12. The Lotus, I should have bought this when I saw it. It was a nice looking set. The Lamborghini, and then this was the dual set, the F1 and the Mercedes. The Mercedes looks really nice in this set. And then here's the other dual stead is the Aston Martin and the two Aston Martins, the Vantage and the Valkyrie. No, they did a micro scale one of these. I'm gonna have to go track that down. Okay, so the 1970 Dodge Charger that Dom drove in Fast and Furious, this is the smaller version. They have a much bigger version of this. It's a Technic set. So I'm gonna have to go look around and see if I can find the Speed Champions version of that. That'd be neat to have. The mini polybag Millennium Falcon. I got half of mine to go track some of these down just to have them, because they have some pretty neat pieces in them too. But a lot of the branded stuff is what they're putting in polybags these days, and in general, I just don't really buy the licensed stuff. I'm more interested in their in-house things. That's a neat one. Clockwork Aquarium. Okay, yeah. Here's one of the modular builds. Like it's a full-sized build. It's a full-scale building that you would have on its own base plate, and you see the little studs right here. You would actually connect this this set to. Come on. You would connect this set to another modular set via the bottom of the base plate. If I can ever get this thing to scale over there properly. Yeah, so these two studs, when you get a set that would join it, and a lot of people build custom builds for their own cityscapes, and you can go look those up online very easily. But these two studs would connect to the next unit over to keep the whole thing cohesive. So you would have one giant street, and then you would have the city that goes around it, and you can make cityscapes and stuff. But yeah, that's part of the LEGO Designer program. But yeah, 2022 was a really good year for LEGO. They had some really neat stuff that came out. And these are all the little poly bags that you can go... This is their version of a gacha, if you're looking to collect minifigs. They have... they'll have a display or stand with... I think they come either 24 or 30 to a box or something like that. And they're all blind bag. So you pick one, and you'll randomly get one of these minifigs in it. And they do so many every year. And I know there's a list of them somewhere. Oh yeah, that's right. The Lego Muppets ones all came out this year. But a lot of them will be in costumes, and this is where you can get some of the neat custom suits for things. So like they'll have classic armor. Or they'll have the little the ship pants and the sailor's hat or captain's hat. They'll have the werewolf suit, just all sorts of neat stuff. And this is the only way that you can get a lot of these things, as far as I'm aware. And then some of the accessories too. I've never seen figure skates before. That's new. Acorn hat would be new. This laser blaster might be useful for something. And it's interesting to see he's wearing the classic space emblem, but it's clearly an alien wearing it. Some of these baseball caps are neat too. There's one that I found when I was scooting around online. It's a female's baseball cap, and it actually has a ponytail coming out of the back, so you can still have hair on your minifig along with the hat, which you almost never saw, I don't think. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, yeah, that's that's what I do in my off time when I'm not playing games or whatever have you. A lot of times I'll just be tooling around in my Lego box and trying to turn off the outside world a little bit. And if you don't have a hobby, I'd really recommend trying something, because it's good to have that way to kind of disconnect from everything a little bit and, you know, kind of clear your mind. And in all honesty, I can't really think of a better hobby for myself than, you know, something that keeps my hands busy, because I absolutely love doing these. I'll lay these over so you can see what they look like on their side as well. But I mean, they're just great models, and the nice thing about Legos is because they're building blocks. At some point, I'm just going to pull all of these apart and use them in a custom build that I do. Of which I do have two specific ones that I'm working on. You'll probably eventually see some of that on stream, because when I finally run out of physical sets to build, I'm going to be doing the other thing that I have planned, which is, and I'll actually show it off here, because it's from them. On Bricklink, they have a program called Studio. It is a free-to-download, free-to-use Lego creation, like virtual Lego creation kit. And it's basically like a 3D modeling software that's built specifically for Legos. It pulls from their back catalog, so effectively every piece that's ever existed that they have in their catalog can be found in Studio, and you can use those pieces to build whatever you want. There's no limit on how many pieces you have or how many pieces you use, and as a matter of fact, it actually keeps tabs on all of the pieces that you use in your set as you're building. And I mean, a lot of people submit studio designs to the website, and a lot of these designs end up getting submitted for Lego Ideas, which is how Lego polls the community to see what they would want to be made into full sets. And I mean, there are some absolutely crazy builders on here. I mean, puts anything I've ever built to shame. Redo of the Blacktron Orbiter. Yeah, here's another example of one of those modular type. Well, actually, that's not a modular. That's not big enough scale. This one would probably be a modular. But I mean, people build the craziest looking stuff. I mean, a pipe organ rendered completely in Studio. Anyway. I think that's all I'm going to do for the time being. I may come back and stream a little later. Maybe. But this was basically kind of my second test run since I screwed the last one up so bad, as Rocky helped me figure out toward the end of it. It's completely unsalvageable, and that's really unfortunate, because I talked about a lot of stuff that I would have liked to have had in the public sphere, I guess, but it'll come up eventually over time, so I guess for the time being, I'm just going to leave it here. It's almost 5 o'clock. Yeah, now would be a good time to stop. I can go run my errands, and maybe I'll come back and do some stream some more later. Maybe. There's tons of games that I could play. I just don't. I've been kind of in a rut because I don't know what I'm in the mood to play lately. So yeah, I don't really know what I would come back and play if I'm gonna do if I'm gonna play games later, but I'm sure I can figure something out. I mean, I have tons of variety. But yeah, I think 2 hours worth of streaming for now is pretty good. Welcome back, and I'm going to try and make it more frequent, because I know this past year I've been really bad about actually streaming. I was looking at my my Twitch recap for the year, and I think I streamed a total of 10 times the entire year. Granted, a lot of them were fairly long streams, but still, I mean, I can do better than that. I used to stream a lot more frequently before. And part of it is just because of how tired I've been from work, especially in the latter half of the year. And part of it is I just haven't been in the right headspace for it, so I'm hoping that me introducing this as an alternative to just playing games and, you know, doing whatever will be a nice way to kind of take my mind off of the having to be entertaining part of streaming, even though I don't know how entertaining I am per se, but I think it'll be a net good for me to be doing stuff like this. And as Cypher was saying a little while ago, there's a non-zero chance you may see some Gunpla on my channel at some point later. Maybe, don't hold me to that, but it's possible. So yeah, I guess I'll cut here and throw a I'll throw a shout out to Overclock Remix as usual, because Overclock Remix is absolutely amazing. And in all honesty, I wouldn't want to stream with any other music on my channel, because I mean, you can't argue the variety, you can't argue the quality, and it's not royalty free, but they have absolutely no qualms with you streaming the OC Remix channel. Don't do the game channel, that'll probably get you banned. Or not banned, but it'll get you a strike at least. Don't stream the game channel. Stream the Overclock Remix channel though. That one's all of the stuff that people submit to the site. And they try to make sure that that's curated so that nobody who's actually submitted their stuff for album purposes or for commercial purposes ends up on it, which is really cool. So I guess for the time being, this is All or Zero with 0 Hour Gaming. And since I am not generally in the habit of doing that thing that Will says, or that Lone Wolf says, I got something else. And it's the philosophy that I've tried to live by, and I think it would actually do everybody a little bit of good to think about it. If you want to make the world a better place, the only person that you can really count on to do that, at least in some small part, is yourself. And what I was always taught when I was a kid is no matter what you do, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, always leave the stuff that you interact with in a better condition than you found it. It'll make the world a better place. Have a nice one, guys.